You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? I'm trying to get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast, and you're here with your boy Q Hicks right now. And I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. Today, we are reviewing Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Episode 3. And this episode was titled Stick and Move. Kind of bland episode. I feel like it was just a lot of straightforward stuff. Episode 1 and 2 hit a little bit harder to me, but I feel like this was just a little bit more character development and plot development with a lot of the major conflicts that we're going to see. So it was straight, but I definitely like episode 1 and 2 better.
A whole lot of lying. That's what I seen, bro. And I ain't like what I was saying because I can see these niggas getting caught up. And some dangerous shit I seen that really caught my attention was that one scene with Davina, and when she ended up seeing Kanan at the trap house or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was asking her what that house was about. And bro was like, hey, don't go out there. You're going to give up the spot or whatever. I was like, that's going to come back and haunt them niggas in a future episode, my nigga. Because it's just like, because I feel like she's going to find out Kanan was the one that shot that nigga. It was too many witnesses that seen that situation, and that information is going to get back to her that Kanan was the one to do it. So when she gets that information, she might tell somebody in Neek's crew about what the fuck been going on. Hey, I want you to run up on Kanan. This is where I seen him at. This is his trap house. You know what I'm saying? They can steal their stash. They can do a lot of shit with this information right now. They can get Kanan, the stash, all of that shit. So that's some important shit that I seen this episode.
I totally agree. I feel like that was the biggest thing because dude that was in there with him, like you said, he was telling him, hey, nah, like I know that's your friend or whatever, but no, nobody's supposed to know where the spot at. And Kanan, this was the most critical line in all of episode 3. He told dude, he was like, it's cool, she ain't in the game, it's all right. He walked away. Dude said, bro, everybody in the game, bro. Everybody. I'm like, that's going to be the most critical line of damn the whole show. Everybody in the game, bro. Anybody that you dealing with, conversing with, friends with, they in the game just off of the fact that they know you and they cool with you.
And you don't know who their people are either. That's another thing. You don't know who somebody people can be. Like, what if her cousin is a part of Neat crew and that's the connection to get at you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't never know who people are, bro. So that shit was dangerous for Kanan. That's the thing I'm looking back and I'm just like, damn. Because she's going to find out. She's still questioning it if it was D-Wiz, and Kanan ain't giving her no straight answer either. So it's like, nah, she's still up in the air with the information.
He went around that question so swift. She was like, She was asking, like, basically, do you know if it was like true that D-Wiz did this to Buck 20? And he went around the question and like really turned it into a sob story about D-Wiz. I'm like, she not noticing that he completely ignored her questioning.
Yeah, but she think he being genuine because that was his best friend. So it's like this nigga just feeling the effects of it. He ain't gonna give me no straight answer. But it's like, only if you know the truth. Only if you knew the truth, man.
And I think the second biggest confrontation that I see coming is I think that white girl, I think her name was Linda. I forgot to write her name in the notes, but the dude that Uncle Marv, not the dude, but the girl Uncle Marv messing with that's in charge of that nightclub and everything. I still see that being a big problem for the fact that dude that she knows or that she's supposed to be fucking with has not come back yet. And their relationship is getting more intimate and sexual. He done bought her a dog now because Raq done blew up her other dog and all that shit. So they getting more into each other. I still feel like this dude that we don't know about yet finna come back and blow all that shit up.
Ooh, and some shit that's really gonna blow back on Raq and the whole squad is what happened at the fucking end. When they had ended up fucking over Unique and catching them niggas in the middle of the re-up and nobody was on the corners, I'm like, oh, Nick finna come back with a vengeance and get y'all niggas, boy. Because I feel like it was cool. Like Unique and Raq was cool. Like you got my corners because we came to an understanding that you wasn't gonna come after my son. But now it's like, nigga, you done took my corners, nigga. You done gave up my re-up. You done dropped the dime on me. It's like you don't know what this nigga Nick is capable of now. Like, is he still gonna come for your son? Because that's what could happen. Like, is he gonna come for you because you gave up the whole operation? Like, you don't know what's gonna happen with that shit, bro. So that's I can't wait to see what happened with that shit too, bro. And Officer Howard was another big plot point with this one too.
Yeah, I was gonna say him getting diagnosed with that leukemia and everything. I'm like, damn. So he battling an illness while still trying to be the top dog in the police unit. And I thought it was interesting that the police chief that they were reporting to about everything, he was more worried about the PR of the
Yeah.
department. He worried about the look that they have of actually busting people. I'm like, dude, don't even really care for real if they bust somebody. He just wants to bring in guns,
Yeah.
drugs, and big faces. That's what he wants to bring in, no matter if they're actually doing shit or not. And I'm like, you don't even care for real. So is there actually gonna be justice? Like he's concerned about the little kids that are
Mm.
dying and the teenagers
Not
that are
really, because
dying.
they black. Not
But
really.
but that's what I'm saying though. It's the fact that there are no answers and there's no evidence. He's like, come on
Mhm.
now. Like, I'm not really upset that these kids are dying, but it's the fact that these kids are dying and we don't have anybody to point fingers at, other than the same drug corner dudes that y'all be bringing in. They be here for 15 minutes and we let them back out.
And that was something that I realized with The Wire too. Like a lot of these like captains and colonels and lieutenants that are a part of the police department, they really don't give a fuck what's happening in the community. They just want to advance their career. So the quickest way to climb up the ladder is what we're trying to go with. So if I got to bring in a story, or if you got to find somebody that killed somebody on the corner, like we need to bring on that information so I can get up in the ladder. They don't give a damn what's going on in the community. And that's something I really realized for the from The Wire, bro. Nobody really cares, bro. They just care about themselves and their situation. And the captain in this situation is the same way. Niggas is grimy for real.
I feel like the only person that's actually got like a smooth, steady plot going right now is Uncle Lou. Like, I feel like he's just chilling
Mm,
right now. He's vibing. Granted, he is the one that shot D Wiz, but you see he vibing with Famous Sister, and she's kind of trying to get him to go towards his passion. Because in the studio scene of this episode, he knows a lot about music because he said his dad used to be a musician. So he's been in the studio before. He reads up on music and all of that stuff. And she's telling him, like, look, the business you in now, this ain't gonna last long. And we know the two outcomes that can come from this shit.
mm-hmm.
But you got a choice to get out right now and go follow your passion, use the money you got, and do this music shit. You could sell music just like how you could
But
sling
is she
crack.
just telling him that so she can bullshit him so he can focus more on that so she can help her brother and further his career? Like, you're my way
Yeah.
in type shit? Because I don't
I
know if she
mean,
genuinely wants him to just be doing music. Like, I feel like you can get my brother in and then you can be a part of the music game. Like, that's her way in. She wants her brother to further his career, and she feels like Lou is the way in. And that's why she's trying to push him towards like the music. But it's like, do you really want him to do this? You know what I'm saying? Is it genuine with what you're saying? Because I don't know. I'm
I feel
still up
like
in the air about her.
I feel like it is genuine, but she does have her own motives at the same time, because he told her, he was like, I seen you hustling in there. I seen you trying to like put your brother on and shit while I'm in the middle of doing business and shit. And she ain't shy away from it. She was like, yeah, like my brother has talent and
That's
you
what I'm
have talent too.
saying. That's what
But
I'm
she told him,
saying.
she was like, you got talent too. So it's like, yeah, I want my brother to get put on, but at the same time, like I ain't finna act like I don't see the talent that you have. So let's help each other. Like, I'll help you try to get yourself put on, and in return, you could just help me out by giving my brother a shot at least.
And I feel like that could cause some sort of friction within the family if he tries to break off and do music, because that's like the muscle with Rock and the whole gang. He is the muscle, him and Marv. So if you break off, it's like I'm already in a shaky position right now. And if he goes and does music, like that could put him in a more open environment where somebody could end up coming to get him, especially in the situation they're in where they're in a gang war with Neek and between Neek and Rock right now. You don't know what anybody is capable of. So if you go off and do music and your head ain't on a swivel, somebody can get your ass. So I feel like in the game, in that environment, your head on a swivel. If you go and do music, hey, my nigga, your head ain't gonna be on a swivel. Somebody can come get your ass with, you know what I'm saying, without being unexpected.
But since he is part of the muscle with Rock, do you feel like, and let's go ahead with this other character introduction we got in this episode, Dean. He's the black dude.
Hey,
Is he Jamaican or whatever?
I don't know if he's Jamaican, but I know Dean from The Wire as well. Dean was D'Angelo from The Wire,
Yeah.
so shout out to my man. And he played in The Deuce. He played in The Deuce. I forgot his role in The Deuce. I think he was a cop in The Deuce or something like that. But shout out to bro. I see this nigga in a lot of shit, but he definitely D'Angelo from The Wire.
Yeah, he's the Tijuana plug in Raising Kanan right now, and he's the one that basically supplies Raq and Neek, and he's the one that officiates the drops with them and everything. But the dude that he had with him, you seen Raq pull him to the side and like, hey, you want to earn some more like part-time money and all that. So let's say Lou does go and tries to do music or whatever, dude that she bribed, to work for her. That might be like her new source of like muscle and like her extra person to make sure Kanan is straight and make sure everything.
He's not gonna be in town
smooth.
though. He going down south. That's what she was telling him.
Is he going immediately, or is he going like? Is she just giving him the money to go whenever she done needing him?
No, I think he's going immediately because I feel like that's going to be an extra source of income, and that's what she wants. Like, get me money outside of New York because it's hot right now, right here. So go down here to South Carolina, do business there, start your family, be cool, but get things started there so I can have that source of income. Because if this shit happens again, I can still have money coming in, and we won't be down for the count. I feel like that's what he's more so there for instead of like muscle. I feel like she's so hell bent on it being Marv and her brothers, Marv and Lou, being the muscle. And she doesn't even know that Lulu is thinking about going to do some music or if that's an option for him. So,
yeah, I was thinking he was, she was bribing him to do what he needs to do in New York, and then he can go spend that money and live his family and do all that other stuff he wanted to do down south. But you might have a point. It might be I need you to expand my shit because shit getting hot up here, and I don't know how much free reign I'm gonna have over the next few weeks or whatever. So that's a good point.
And because you seen how her corners was looking at the beginning, like
yeah,
them niggas that ran off her corner boys, like you don't know how many times this is gonna happen. You don't know what's going on with Neek and Officer Howard. And she ended up finding out that Neek and Officer Howard did have a relationship. So she was like, yeah, like how far Neek got his dick down your throat type shit. And she was like, so she knows they have a relationship. And I don't know if she knows that Neek has been told by Officer Howard that he wants him to be on the throne. I don't know if she knows that connection, but she knows there's a connection there, and she doesn't like that shit at all. That's why she had to drop that dime so he can be off the corners.
She might not necessarily know that Howard wants Neek to be on top, but like you said, she knows that their relationship is closer than her and Howard's relationship.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, I may not know that you want him to be on top of this shit, but I know if shit go left, like you gonna make sure you cover his ass more than you cover mine.
That's why I was questioning in the first recap, like what side is he on? Because he looked so in the middle. Like, is he fucking with Neek? And then in this episode, he was fucking Raq. I feel like he was more so forced to fuck with Raq because if he didn't do anything with that information, it's like that shit can fuck him up in a way because she was just going to tell somebody else that the re-up was here and that you can take down these corners. And she would have told like the head person in charge at the police department, I told Howard about it. He just didn't do anything with that information. That could have ended up fucking him up. So he had to do something with it. I don't think he wanted to fuck over Neek. So how is that going to fuck up him and Neek's relationship as well? That's something we have to look forward to.
And as far as Jukebox and her girlfriend, do you feel like what her girlfriend said is going to be true? Do you feel like Jukebox is going to get in trouble with this boosting, or do you feel like she's going to run into the issue with her dad before that happens?
She already in trouble with a boosting. Them niggas out here killing niggas like in the street. Like they already pushed it too far. Like that hot off the truck shit was cool when you was getting away and nobody was getting hurt. But once a nigga gets killed, like I feel like the process of how they go about getting shit off the truck is going to be different now. Or they're going to have more security around the drop-off points. Like now, are you going to get caught up stealing? You know what I'm saying? Can you do this as much as you are used to? So yeah, I don't know. She could get caught up with that shit. And I didn't say this last episode, but Jukebox is from the original Power. And I forgot all about her from the original Power. But in the original Power, she was killed by Kanan. Because it was a whole thing with him, Tariq, and Ghost. It was a whole plot twist. But she was threatening to kill Tariq. And it was a whole plot. And she was trying to blackmail Ghost. And Ghost ended up getting Kanan in on the deal because it was about Tariq. So they ended up coming in. And Kanan ended up shooting Jukebox. So you see how close they are at this moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his voice of reason. But it's crazy because in the original Power, it got to the point where it's like, man, we both done got too far, and Kanan had to kill that shit in the original Power. So It's funny just looking at the origins.
So she played a different character in Power.
No, she was Jukebox. She was his
Jukebox.
cousin. Yeah, she was his cousin.
Okay.
It was just the older version of Jukebox in the original Power. Like they were cousins still, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the person that Kanan always came to for drugs because she was a cop in the original Power. So I want to know how she transitions into that lifestyle, how she became a cop, because that shit is crazy. Looking at the person she is now doing all this illegal shit. How did you become a cop? Did you become a cop because you wanted to be on the inside and you can be what's the word I'm looking for? You can be dirty inside of that department. Did you want this? Is that why you wanted to be a cop? I wanted to know if that was her intentions going into being a cop.
I feel like it was we'll probably see it somewhere in the show. It might have been a near-death experience that she probably had, or she probably got locked up and she probably didn't like the repercussions of, getting locked up for the boosting and all of that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was probably some traumatic experience that's going to happen to her in this show, which will show, it'll be like a preview of why she became a cop in the original Power.
Or will she be looking up to Officer Howard? She sees what Officer Howard is doing and how he is controlling, not really controlling, but really is on everybody's good side. He's what did he say in this episode? He said that he runs the streets or some shit.
He said everybody fuck with him, basically. Everybody respects him. Respects
that's
him.
what he said. Everybody respects him. So I feel like she would want that. Everybody respects me. I can do what I want. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you get to the higher up place like Howard is and how she was in the original Power. Everybody respects you and you can go your own way. I feel like she could be looking at him and saying like, damn, like I want to be like him. You know what I'm saying? On that side of the law as well.
Yeah, and I think it was cool that that his deputy, they kind of are starting to, fill each other out and actually like each other now in a sense, because at first he was just like dissing her and all
they
that.
They didn't even like each other at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, they still like each other at the beginning of the episode. But I don't know. It's like he had to check her ass, even though she really didn't need to get checked. She was basically saying like, "You finna stop disrespecting me and all that." And he basically still said, "Nah, fuck that. Everybody respect me. I'm Officer Howard and all that." And then she just shut up and then just started respecting him. So I'm like, are they cool, or is she just taking a step back and like, you know what? I'm the deputy. I don't have a say so.
Because I feel like everything he said was true about her. He must have looked at her file and seen like her background, because I don't know how he knew she came from a family of cops and other shit, and it really like hit home. So it's like, this nigga trying to read me. So let me chill out, let me cool out. But I still feel like she would end up like overtaking him in a way, or taking things into her own hands. Because you see the way he moves, like it just isn't the way a good cop should move. And she sees that, and I feel like she was still trying to break away from him. So at this moment, they're cool, but I feel like she was still trying to break away at a point. But how do you
feel? He's always leaving information out with her too. She said, "I'm tired of pulling up places and you telling me to stay in the car. I'm tired of both of us being on the scene. And you telling me the information that I should know ain't important at all." Like he's making her misinformation, and he's making her the information she does get, he's telling her it's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's minimal shit. But how do you feel like the cancer will play a part in this show? Like, do you think it will make him more lenient? Like, what do you think how that would impact the show? Because that was real interesting to see, because I was just like why would they throw that in there that he was about to die? Like, that was weird to me.
I didn't know what to do with that information. Honestly, I still don't know. I didn't watch it all twice. I watched like half of the episode twice, and when I seen it on TV again later today. But I don't know. I think they're gonna play on it somehow.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna play on it, but how?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Because when I seen it, I was like, it was weird. But is it going to make him more aggressive for something? Like, does he want to put Neek on the throne before he dies? Like, what is the thing?
I thought of something. Okay, remember he was in the doctor's office and she was like, "Do you have any other family members? Because we have to test their blood to see if it's like a genetics thing and all that other stuff." And he was like, "Only family I got is a few people in Alabama, and they don't even fuck with me. Like, I'm not cool with them." And she was like, "You really should try to get in touch with them to see if they'll do blood tests with you and all that stuff." And remember, dude that was working for Dean that robbed them bribed, he's in South Carolina. So what if he goes to like you said, what if he immediately goes to South Carolina and he starts having like the drug game and crack start booming in the South, and it reaches Alabama, and then let's say Officer Howard goes to Alabama and actually does try to connect with his family, and he sees some shit, or he peeps something that has Raq's name written over it with whatever type of drug shit is going on. He might see a familiar face, or he might, just hear word of mouth for certain shit on where like the drugs are being shipped from and all of that. So I feel like going down south is going to play a big part in this show now that we know he got family down there, and now that we know Raq has like a third connect or whatever going to the south. So I feel like everybody need to watch out for the southern states in this show.
Yeah, because they have to give us more background on that, or give us more information. Like, you just can't tell us he about to die and like not build on it, because usually with these power shows, the middleman, they get screen time, but like they don't get no information like they about to die, like some type shit like that. Like, so you have to do something with that information, because that shit was just like way out of left field.
I wouldn't even say he's a middleman. I feel like he has the same type of character that who did Method Man play in
that's what I'm saying, on that side of the law.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't call him a middleman, but he's like the second tier level of character.
Yeah. And while watching the earlier episode, it was one scene, bro. I think it was that opening scene of this episode, and it was when Symphony was in the house, and Kanan had ended up seeing that nigga on the computer, and he was talking shit, and they ended up getting in the car. Raq and Kanan ended up getting in the car. And Raq was just talking to him about D-Wiz, and she was just trying to tell him like, yeah, I'm sorry, I understand what you're going through type shit. And I think I understand how Kanan became the person that he is now. Because once he finds out that his mom was a part of D-Wiz getting killed, I think it will make him so heartless. Because D-Wiz was like his fucking brother, my nigga. And your mom had a part of that. It's like, nigga, I can't trust nobody. If I can't trust my moms, my nigga, I can't trust nobody. And he was that same type of person in power. We're talking about the same Kanan that killed his own son. Like, I feel like he got that way as a kid. And once he finds out that his mom and his uncles were a part of D-Wiz's death, that nigga will go cold-blooded, probably not want to fuck with them niggas no more, or none of that shit. And I think that's going to be the beginning of the Kanan that we end up seeing in the original Power, bro. He really couldn't give a fuck about anybody except Jukebox in the original Power, because that relationship was always there until he ended up killing her. But I don't know what happened to his mom. I think he broke off with his mom earlier because of that decision that she made to kill D-Wiz, because she was scared of the heat that Kanan was going to get on him.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that she had Uncle Lou do it. I feel like they should have got like an outside person to do that shit. If it would have been like an outside person, it would have probably been, I don't know. I feel like it would have been less traceable.
No, because I don't know. I feel like somebody is going to, I don't know if somebody's going to tell him, but word is going to get out what happened. He's going to find out.
Let him know. Jukebox gonna let him know. I saw Lou pick him up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is happening. That did happen. So yes, Jukebox will say that, and then he'll be like, "Why the fuck was he with him?" You know what I'm saying? Because why is Lulu with D-Wiz? That shouldn't even be a connection. You feel what I'm saying? Like, them niggas never hang out. So that was important. That was very important that she see him get in that car, and that's how he finds out. And I'm telling you, that's how he ends up steering away from his moms, bro. And I think that's when him and Ghost ended up getting close. Once he broke away from his mom, that's when him and Ghost got close, and then they started running the streets together. I think it was because of this shit, bro. Once he found out his moms did that, even though they're close at this moment, once you kill one of my best friends for some shit that really started with me, like that was a Kanan problem, and you kill my nigga for that, like, man, my nigga gonna go crazy, bro. So I think that's gonna be the downfall in the spiral of that relationship.
And I really think he's not gonna want to trust anybody because he feels he's responsible for what
exactly happened. Yep.
Because it's like you just said, like, Ma, that was my fault. Like, that was my problem. Like, I'm the reason he even shot dude anyway. So it's like, you gonna kill my best friend for something I did? Like, you're punishing me way more by killing my dog than not just straight up punishing me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's gonna have that guilt eating him on top of the anger of his mom for orchestrating it and his uncles for being a part of it.
And it's like, bro, you pushing me deeper into the drug game, but you doing this shit behind my back. It's like, damn, I thought we was on the same team here, but you doing grimy shit behind me. It's like, And I'm telling y'all, that's gonna be the point where he like, man, I can't trust nobody except Jukebox, because he does trust Jukebox in the original. But other than that, man, I can't fuck with nobody. Even his own son. This nigga killed his own son in Power, my nigga. He don't fuck with nobody, my nigga. He don't fuck with nobody. So I'm telling you, that was the scene, bro. That was very important.
Yeah, I feel like we hit all the biggest plot points from this episode, though. The craziest part, though, like you said, was the end of the episode, though, when we see Unique noticing that his corners are empty. He didn't get the drop the night before like he was supposed to and everything. So and some of his dudes got killed when they got the drop put in the car. So I'm like, damn, like you done lost some of your workers. You didn't get your product and your corners bare. So yeah, Unique pissed. He finna
go crazy. Especially when you thought you had an agreement with somebody, bro. Like, you gave me these corners, now you dropping a dime on me. It's like, oh, I'm finna get your ass back. And I feel like that's why it was so smart, because it was so smart that she ended up sending old boy to the South so she could still have that money flow. Because, bro, it's finna go down in New York, my nigga. It's about to go down between Neek and Raq, my nigga. And the middleman is gonna have to be Officer Howard to like, hey, chill out. But he about to die soon, so is that nigga even gonna be there for a long time? So you don't even know about that shit, honestly, bro.
And I don't know if what you call it will turn on him. His deputy, I don't know if she'll necessarily turn on him now that we know he might die during the show, really. Because what if they don't see eye to eye, but she ends up seeing his reasoning for a lot of things, and she takes his place in what's going on? Remember in Snowfall with that one Hispanic lady that was helping
she worked for the DA.
She worked for the DA, and then she ended up, getting in the drug business for that little bit of time before Gustavo knocked her off. You know what I'm saying? So what if it's a situation where she does that with Officer Howard? It's like, I was really against you and a lot of your motives for shit. But it's like, now that I see how this game really go and everything, I'll do interim for you since you finna die soon or after you die or whatever.
Because you have to keep good relationships with these people that you have to interact with on a day-to-day basis, really, in this drug game. So you can't have niggas like hide at you every time you come around, niggas mad or screaming at you for some bullshit. Like, you have to have good relationship with these drug dealers. So I feel like she will end up seeing that. So I agree with what you're saying. Like, hey, I see how you moving, and I understand it now. I understand you can't be so one-sided, and you can't see the other person's like point of view. So it's like, hey, if I gotta do what I gotta do with some dirty shit, you know what I'm saying? Let people get off here and there, I might have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that was really important. And also,
you gotta keep the flow going. You gotta keep the flow going, and you gotta keep the image of your department up, as we see from the captain.
And also, Raq is flawed as hell, my nigga. I hate when moms like put on fronts. And she, like I said, in that car scene, she put on a front for my nigga Kanan, talking about we about to go to D-Wiz mom house, like we gotta pay our respects, this, that, and the third. I'm like, bruh, and this is why it just adds to the fact. Once he finds out that all that shit you did was fake, my nigga, you the one who started this shit. It's like, bruh, you don't put on that whole performance, my nigga, and you the one that killed him. You the one who set it up. Oh, my nigga, that's just building onto the fact. My nigga not gonna trust his own mama, bro, after he find this shit out. I'm telling you, bro, the front is real.
Me, dog. It's the fact that you orchestrated killing my dog, and then you got me holding hands with you, and his mama talk about, lay though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, no, bro. Not the Lord's Prayer.
I'm telling you, bro.
God. Not the Lord's Prayer.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, she is going to, and she's so close to her son. And I just peeped that she has a Kanan necklace. She has a necklace that says Kanan on it. Like, she love that nigga so much, bro. But that's some shit you can't come back from.
And she told Symphony, she was like, because Symphony apologized to her. He was like, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to tell you how to raise your son or whatever, or nothing like that. And she apologized. She was like, no, I shouldn't have snapped on you, but I just need you to know, ever since I had Kanan, it's been me and him against everybody. I ain't never gonna let nobody come between me and my son. The only person who can come between you and your son now is you.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. And that's exactly what is going to happen, bro, nigga. I see it right now. And what else did I want to talk about? I want to talk about Jukebox a little bit. First of all, I hate fucking previews. I need to stop watching them shits because the previews was so fucking deceiving. It looked like this nigga, or it looked like Jukebox killed somebody when really she didn't kill nobody. It was the other dude that ended up killing him, and she just had the box cut out or whatever.
Well,
she put it in her pocket.
Die? Did he die or did he just get beat up? I think he just got beat up and was just bloody.
I think he just got bleed. He was just bloody. But either way, I was just like, I thought Jukebox did this shit, and it was the other dude. I'm just like, man, y'all niggas.
Bro, I told you, stop believing previews, bro. We're in that age now where they give you false clips on purpose to bait you. Like, you can't believe the previews no more, bro.
And something else I want to talk about with Juke. Juke is the same person that she was from Prower. She's low key but dangerous at the same time. Like in that scene when she was talking to Kanan before he was about to sell the drugs, he was like, man, you about to sell the white boys. Like, even though Marvin told you to sell it for 25, sell it for 50 because these white boys don't know no better. Like, she's street smart. Like, she ain't never sold the shit. She told Kanan, I don't never want to sell the shit because that's what Marv do, which is hilarious as fuck. But she's like, I don't want to sell that shit because of Marv. But she was like, I know the streets. And so she's book smart and street smart, and that's how she was in the show, and that's how she got so far in Power, because she had a mind on her, bro. She's low key, but she's smart at the same time, which makes her so dangerous, dog. That's why I fuck with her character.
And that shit was cool how she was coaching them. She was like, hey, y'all pay attention, cause I'm only gonna say this shit one time. You got college kids, you got regular niggas, and you got bones. And I'm like, bro, she know this shit down to a science, bro.
Exactly.
And the fact that exactly what she told Kanan is what happened literally a few minutes later. She was like, sell that shit for $50. Like, they'll buy it and overpay for it, because that's, at that time, she was saying that's just what white people do. They overpay for shit. And he was trying to sell that shit for 30. He was like, give me 2 for 50. And he was like, shit, okay. I'm like, bro, just listen to her, bro. You can overcharge the first customer, because once you overcharge the first customer, then you'll know how to do shit afterwards. Don't underball on the very first person. I'd rather overball and be like, damn, I missed out. Okay, I know not to do that again. Than undersell, because now it's like I don't know how high to go if I undersell.
Yeah, because the white boy was like, That's an excellent deal. That's like a really good price. I was like, bro, you gotta raise the price, right? When he say that, you gotta raise the price. Actually, it's 40, my nigga. I forgot it's actually 40. You gotta raise the price on that nigga, bro. And last thing about the episode was it was during that last monologue. I forgot who was talking during that monologue, but they were saying like the best fighters are the who?
It was Kanan.
Okay, it was Kanan. It was Kanan. So they said the best fighters are the ones with the best counters, because we seen what Raq ended up doing. Ended up running all of Neek's crew off their corners. She ended up dropping the dime. It looks like she could end up taking over those corners now. But at the same time, that can get her fucked up. So even though she flipped the script and she's a great fighter, that can end up fucking her up, and that could possibly be a reason how she dies, my nigga. Like, you don't know what Neek is capable of, because you just pushed him this far. Y'all cool, but now you fucking up my money now, and it was your fault because I knew it was you. So it's like that could be a reason or how she dies, because I don't know if I forgot it. I don't remember Kanan like really talking about his mom in the regular Power series. So I don't know how she died, or if he just wasn't talking about her like that. But this could honestly be a reason how she dies.
I agree. Do you have any predictions for next episode?
I didn't see the previews for next episode, but I feel like Lou would end up getting into this music shit. But Lou has to keep his head on the swivel if he gonna get on this music shit, because he gonna get caught lacking, because Nick and them niggas is on his head now. They gonna be on his head, especially when they drove by each other and then Nick and Marv and them. Yep. I'm like, bruh, they on y'all ass now, my nigga. Same way with Marv. Marv fucking with this white girl. It's like, hey, my nigga, you gotta keep your head on the swivel, because you don't know who Nick know. What if this nigga that the white girl's supposed to be messing with that we never seen? What if he cool with Nick and he end up getting your ass? Like, bro, you got to keep your head on the swivel in this game, and y'all taking y'all focus off the actual game and the strategy at hand, because y'all got everything else y'all mind is on right now. It's like, my nigga, y'all in a gang war, a drug war. Y'all better get y'all shit together.
I feel like, what do I predict for next episode? I agree with you. I feel like Lou is gonna try to start getting in this music shit. I feel like Jukebox is gonna get arrested and she gonna go to jail in the next episode. And yeah, I'll probably say they're my two biggest predictions. Kanan gonna keep slanging crack. It'll probably be like a whole montage. It'll probably be like a montage of him like continuing to sell to people and all that. He gonna build that portfolio up or whatever. I like the way he gave that little monologue about himself after he made his first sale. And it's like they kind of did that with Franklin. Like anytime, I don't know, that shit just be raw to me. Like when niggas make their first sale or when they make their first dose of crack or whatever, and like they get that little monologue about it, that should be cool.
Nigga was like, I didn't know how I was gonna feel about that first. But I ended up realizing I like it.
Bro,
like, yeah,
I hear rappers say that all the time, bro. When you make that first sale, like you feel good as fuck about that shit. Like I could do this shit for real.
Yeah, I fuck with that shit, bro. I fuck with that shit. But how you feel? I feel about that white girl and Jukebox. How you feel like that whole situation gonna play out?
I feel like she's just gonna end up. I feel like Jukebox is gonna end up distancing herself from her because she's gonna let the fact that they're from two different worlds overrule their feelings for each other. Because she really likes Jukebox. Like she's really like trying to be with her. She's trying
to open her up too with the karaoke shit.
You don't need to steal. Like you don't have to do that stuff. Like just stay with me. You say you enjoy being with me. You say you love being around me. Be with me for the whole day. Like don't just be with me for a couple hours and be like, all right, I gotta go. And you're telling me you're going to go steal at that.
I'm surprised she told her that. Honestly, I was like, you told her the truth about that shit. Kind of weird, but I was like, okay. But yeah, man, I agree with you. She's gonna have to distance herself, and I think it's gonna be that same reason about two different worlds. That's how most of these shits end up going.
And like you said for episode 2, I think you said she might get her killed, but then I said no. I feel like she's gonna get somebody around her hurt. I feel like that still might happen. Juke might, and that I feel like that'll contribute to her wanting to distance herself from her.
You see how dangerous I am.
You gonna see how dangerous I am, and I might fuck around and get somebody that you know or love hurt, and then that's gonna distance them completely.
Because Kanan is going to be targeted once again. Because what is the real reason? How can you really hurt Raq? Go for her son. If she hurts her son, it's like, my nigga. Now he's, especially being out in these streets, like he's more accessible now. And who is around Kanan all the time? Jukebox. She could potentially become a target. So everybody in that family can become a target, and they're all accessible. Everybody out doing their own thing, and it's like, hey, Nick can touch all of y'all right now, and y'all not keeping your head on a swivel. So that's why I said the ending was so important, because everybody trying to do their own thing, but Nick is coming for revenge, bro. He is coming for revenge on everybody, and he's going to go after Kanan. So that bounty that he ended up taking off, he might put that bitch back on and say, no, you reneged on your deal. You reneged on your deal, so I'm going to renege on my deal.
And this is why I said, line that the dude in the trap house told Kanan, most important line of damn near the whole show.
For sure.
Everybody is in the game. Jukebox girl, you in the game now, just for the fact that you fucking with her, and like, you know, she still, even though you don't know the other shit she do, you fucking with her, you in the game now. You know what I'm saying? Davina, you questioning Kanan and you still cool with Kanan, but your boyfriend was working for Neek, so you in the game on both ends. So everybody in the game, bro. Everybody.
Exactly. But yeah, bro, you can hit her with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at Q&E Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube at Q&E Podcast. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you can see anytime that we drop new episodes. And our email is QANDEpodcast@gmail.com.
All right, you can subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Subscribe to us on YouTube, just Q&E Podcast, and subscribe to me on YouTube. Just type in Quincy Hicks into the search bar and definitely subscribe. And we appreciate you guys for listening. And we out. Peace.